fall feast, and we are about to enter that mode. So what is Yom Teruah? Well, it's one of the first of the Moedim, of the appointed times. These are holy, set-apart days. It's just like our boss has made an appointment and placed it on your work calendar. Are you going to ignore that if if your boss, he or she asks you to be somewhere at a certain time? Most of us are going to be there when the boss asks us to. Well, the boss, in this case, our creator, has asked us to meet him at certain times. So this is an example of the different feast and the different times that he's asked us to meet with him. So the feast also have a wedding tie-in. So the Passover is an example of the betrothal process of the engagement. Yom Teruah is the ceremony, and the Sukkot is the party, or Feast of Tabernacles. So basically, Yom Teruah also can be the day of shouting. Sukkot, Feast of Booths, Feast of Tabernacles. You may be familiar with those terms. So it means Yom means a time or a day. The Hebrew word teruah means to make a loud noise. And so you can read about it in those scriptures there below. Numbers 29:1, on the first day of the seventh month, you shall have a holy convocation. Don't do any ordinary work. It's a day for you to blow trumpets, make a loud shout. You're supposed to rest. In Leviticus 23, it also describes it. So, and you see that more. So the sighting of the new moon goes with it. And so it goes back to this concept of no man knows the hour, and that we're supposed to be looking. They looked for the new moon, just like a young bride looked for her groom to return. So during the betrothal, the son was building the house, and the father would the families were involved in this process, and they made arrangements, and the bride got to pick. And then the groom came to stand at the door with the father, and if the bride lets him in, the betrothal process begins. And it should sound familiar to you. The groom then goes away, prepares a house for his bride. And then when he's prepared the house, his father eventually says, "Say, son, it's time to go get your bride." When he does, there's a loud shout. There are people that are with him, and there's a blast of a shofar. And so that is the way Yeshua is going to come back to get his bride. He is that groom coming back to get his bride. So I encourage you to go research this, check out more of how the Hebrew wedding ties into the feast.